A-Level Biology 9700, Paper 5, Variant 2, February, March 2025, question number 3. And question number 3 is an investigation about the use of rotavirus vaccination against the type 1 diabetes in the children of the age 0 to 4 months. So this is investigation was conducted actually to use this vaccination against rotavirus, and then the use of and had reduced the number of children with, so it was used against the children from aged 2 months to 4 months, and in this way we have to find out the first question. I'm not going in detail of this, it will directly I'm going to on question. Identify the independent variable and dependent variable. Independent variable is the variable that the scientists are investigating as a potential cause. So here they are making use of the rotavirus vaccination. So I will write the independent variable is use of rotavirus vaccine. They are making use of this vaccination on the children. So the dependent variable will be the that the scientists are measuring to see if it is affected by the independent variable or not. So here the number of children. So the dependent variable will be number of children who will be affected or not affected by the use of this vaccination. So the number of children aged 0 to 4 years. So it will be the effects on the number of children aged 0 to 4 years by the use of rotavirus vaccination. So the independent variable, use of rotavirus vaccination, and the dependent variable, and by the use of this rotavirus vaccination, the effect on the number of children aged from 0 to 4 years. So they will study this. Now, next question is, the scientists used that data. Yes, first of all, I have to read. The scientists used data that had been collected from 2000 to 2015. So 2000 to 2015, the scientists use the data, find the number of children aged from 0 year to 4 year, find the number of children aged from 0 year to 4 years with a type 1 diabetes, calculate the number of children aged from 0 to 4 years with type 1 diabetes per 100,000 children that were aged from 0 to 4 years. The scientists repeated this analysis for children aged from 10 years to 14 years. So it can be a control experiment in this case. So directly moving towards the question, figure 3.1 shows the number of children aged from 0 to 4 years with type 1 diabetes, but 100,000 for each year from 2000 to 2015. So the predicted number of children aged 0 to years to 4 years with type 1 diabetes per 100,000 if the rotavirus vaccination uh, had not been introduced. It has been shown in 2008 to 2015. Now you can come to this. First of all, I would like to explain the question. The number of children with one type diabetes per 100,000. So this graph shows the number of children with type 1 diabetes, the plain line, the straight line. It is showing that the number of children with type 1 diabetes, and the other dotted line predicted number of children with type 1 diabetes. So here you can see uh, this solid line actually representing the actual number of children. So this line uh, this line shows actual number of children, and the dotted line, it shows predicted number. And here is one vertical line from this vertical line shows the year the rotavirus vaccine was introduced. So it was introduced in 2007 to 2008. Now, question is, after this explanation about the graph, state two conclusions that can be made from the data shown in figure 3.1. So there should be two conclusions. So uh, in this way, first of all, I would like to move the first conclusion. The first conclusion about this is that is the actual number of children aged 0 to 4 years with type 1 diabetes but 100,000 appears to have decreased compared to the predicted number if the vaccine had not been introduced. So first conclusion is this. I will give its evidence. I will write on the side. So only first of all, I'm writing this. The introduction of the vaccine the actual number of children aged 0 to 4 years with type 1 per 100,000 appears to have decreased. Per as compared decreased compared to the predicted number. Compared to predicted number. As for example, you can see this line, the upper line. So this line shows. And then when after the introduction of the vaccine, the number is decreased. So this line I'm talking about, this is the evidence. Before the introduction of this, it was between 14, it was between you can say 15 and 16, and then it is decreased and became below the 14. So this is the evidence from this graph. That is, the number has been decreased as comparison to predicted number. When the vaccination was introduced, then it became at the lower level. So the number of cases were decreased. And the second conclusion which we can draw on is that the predicted number of children aged 0 to 4 years with type in the absence of the rotavirus vaccine shows a general trend of remaining relatively stable in the absence of vaccination, the actual number of children remains relatively stable or increasing or slightly increasing from 2008 to 2015. So you can see the actual, if there is no vaccination introduction, so it remained throughout 2008 to 2050, it remained relatively high. So the dashed line is representing the predicted number of cases without the vaccine, maintains a level generally around 16. You can see they remain the same. So this line shows that in the absence of vaccination, the number remains same, or you can say little bit increase from 16 onwards. So the graph shows all these you can say evidences which I have written on as a result of conclusions. So these are the two conclusions which can be made from this. Now we are moving towards the next question, and next question is also a graph, and we are discussing the first figure 3.2 shows the mean number of the children with type 1 diabetes in Australia in each of the two different age group analyzed before and after the introduction of the rotavirus vaccination in 2007. Error bars shows 95%, confidential intervals 95%. You can see confidential interval CL. So here you can see the mean number of children with age type per 100, 0 to 4, little bit decrease. There it trend showing the decrease in the number of cases. So mean number of children with type 1 diabetes per 100,000, they are decreased from in 2000 to 27, it was more than 15, around about it was on 16. And in 2018 to 2015, it has been decreased. So you can see this decreased in it. Whereas on the other hand, in the control group, which was 10 to 14 age, so here you can see the trend. In 2000 to 2007, the number of cases are about 31, 32. But now the mean number has been increased. So in higher age, it is also concluded that this is the disease of the lower ages. Now, some students concluded that the vaccination against rotavirus decreased the number of children with type 1 disease per 100,000. Discuss whether the information shown supports this conclusion. Yes, you can see from the graph already shown you this figure 3.1 clearly shows figure 3.2 clearly shows a lower mean number of children aged 0 to 4 years with type 1 diabetes per 100,000 in the period after the rotavirus virus vaccine introduction. Compared to the period before 2000 to 2007. So this shows the decrease in primary vaccination, decrease in the vaccination target group. On the other hand, for the older age, group, who were who were less likely to be directly impacted by infant rotavirus vaccination program. The mean number of type 1 diabetes cases per 100,000 shows a slight increase, which I have already shown you when I was discussing this graph. In the later period. So this contrasting trend in the control group supports the argument that the decrease in cases due to decrease in cases due to use of vaccination in children 0 to 4 years of age. So it was all about the question number 3. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe my channel.